Hi everyone, this is Misha from Made Up Me Search, and today I want to show you a very quick, summer-proof, sweat-proof, holiday-approved look that I did recently when I was on a holiday in Egypt. And I did this almost every day and it lasted perfectly fine, was beautiful, lightweight, and I just want to share. So let's go. This is very simple. You do need a few products, but you can kind of, skip some steps however you like it. I'm going to start with a primer, completely optional. This is the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer. I'm selecting this one because, first of all, I love it. And second of all, it is a very cooling, lightweight, slightly mattifying primer that does prolong my makeup wear quite nicely. And it's just really nice on the skin and doesn't leave you too dewy and keeps my oils at bay. Now, even though we're primed, we're not gonna go in with a foundation. Instead, we're taking a concealer. I usually wanna go in with something that has kind of a medium coverage, very lightweight, good shade match, not too yellow or too pink. So this is the most neutral one I have. This is the Esssence Skin Loving Sensitive Concealer. I have it in the shade 10 Light. And I'm going to use this to cover my under eye bags, but also to cover up any redness that is on my face at the very moment. So this is kind of how I target the concealer. It gives you a nice illusion of even skin, even though you don't have anything on like the entirety of your face. It's a good trick. So now that we're nicely evened out and brightened, we can take a look at some other products we can use. First, I'm going to use a stick bronzer. This is the Essence Baby Got Bronze. This is a perfect bronzer for traveling because it's very tiny and it's a very beautiful shade. Now, I am naturally a very pale person, so I do not tan much. Therefore, even when I tan a little bit on my body, I always had to catch up on my face because, yeah, I use SPF religiously and I don't really tan that much in my face. So there we go. We gotta help it a little bit. This bronzer is like a thick gel formula, so again, it's super lightweight. It's not gonna go anywhere. The shade match is also really nice. So very reliable texture. It's very long wearing too. And as a bonus, it's nicely affordable and very small, so all the good stuff. We can move on to another step, and that is setting everything in place. Because of course, when you are somewhere in the summer, it can get very hot. So first I'm gonna set my under eyes with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This is a very matte powder. So I'm just gonna use a tiny bit and dab it under my eyes and along my nose. And honestly, this is all it takes. You can also use it to set your T-zone or any place where you can get a little bit more oily and where you're afraid the concealer may not last. And now for the rest of the face, I'm going to take a powder foundation, specifically this one from Maybelline, the SuperStay Hybrid Powder Foundation is my absolute favorite right now. I can go a whole vacation just with this. I usually go in with a powder puff when I use this, but today we're going to use a very fluffy brush because we just want a little bit of coverage, like all over the face. And also we do not want to cover that bronzer. So I'm just going to use a tiny bit on the perimeters of my face. And good thing about this is that it's also perfect for touch-ups. So if something sweats off, if it's too oily or something, you can always add a little bit more. Now I'm just going to do something really quickly with my brows. I've been just using a tinted brow gel lately, so this is all I'm gonna do. Usually when I'm on vacation, I do have better stuff to do than just, do my makeup 4 times a day. There we have it, just a quick brow. And now for the eyes. The key thing for the eyes is that you do not have to prime. You have to get yourself something really pretty and very long wearing. So I'm gonna go in with the Essence Jelly Jewels Glitter. This is an eye topper that has incredible longevity. It is like a jelly texture, which usually means that it applies quite nicely and then it dries and doesn't move. And that's exactly what you want. So we're just gonna avoid the whole eyeshadow thing. We're not gonna prime, we're not gonna do any powder eyeshadow. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of this beauty on a flat brush, or you can do your finger, and I'm gonna spread it all over my lid. And you can go as subtle or as intense as you want. I did pick up quite a lot of products, so we're going a little bit more intense now. However, it's gonna look really pretty. So you do have just like the most subtle and beautiful eye. So it's gonna look very nice and effective. However, you did not put that much work in it, which is the perfect ratio. So all you have to worry about here is the shape. You do want the shapes to be roughly the same. And also the amount of shimmer should be, roughly similar. I know this was very like frosty eyes, but trust me, it does look really pretty when the sun hits it. And there we have it, just a beautiful, simple, golden, shimmery eye. This really goes with like everything, I think. Next step is optional. It depends how much you like your lash line to show. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Essence Stay and Play Gel Liner to just emphasize my lash line. You can also do this with just black eyeshadow or liquid liner or just really anything, even mascara if you have that on hand. Like, all I want is to emphasize the lash line a little bit so that my lashes look fuller when I put on the mascara. The best way for me to do this is just put on a little bit and then grab a small brush of basically any shape and very slightly smudge it. And because we don't have a lot on, we can just kind of clean up with our hands. Next, I'm going to put on a mascara. I'm going to take the Rival Loves Me Tubing Balm Mascara. You just want to put on anything that doesn't smudge on you. Last thing for the base, I'm gonna take my jelly highlighter stick from Essence. This one, it's a beautiful nude, or kind of like peachy pinky shade that doubles as a blush and a highlighter for me, and it doesn't mess with the powder too much if you apply it carefully with a brush. So this is just an easy product for me when I don't want to worry too much about a blush and highlight separately. I can just slap this on. Also on its own, this is like a perfect product. So I'm just gonna layer that as much as I want. And there we have it. And that does give me like a little bit more life to the cheeks. And it does look really cute and it's really nice and reflective. Also, what I like about this is that it does completely dry. So it's not going to, you know, your hair is like not gonna stick to it. It's not gonna look weird and too dewy. It's, yeah, you know, thin layers, long wearing products. That's what's the key here. And last but not least, I want to look at my lips, of course. I do have this Essence Hydra Kiss Lip Oil with SPF 25, which I think is a perfect candidate for this. Of course, you can put any lip you want with this. I just wanted something with the added SPF protection because, as always, I like to remind you that you should wear your SPF. And this is the finished look. So as you can tell, this is like very simple. If you're in a hurry or if you skip a few things, you can do this in like a few minutes, 5 minutes tops with everything. And it's perfect because you're looking cute, you feel nice, everything's gonna just stay put. You can, you know, refresh in no time if you need to. And everything is just gonna look beautiful till you need it. So this is how I looked for a majority of my vacation because this is the kind of look that I can replicate all the time. You can do different shimmer, different blush, different lip, different mascara. You can add a liner instead of the shimmery shadow. And you have like a very quick and reliable, simple makeup routine for your holiday without spending too much time on it. Still feeling cute, but spending all the free time you have by the pool or sea or what's your preferred body of water. So like this video if you enjoyed this little tutorial and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!